The donated experts from the Orange Democratic Movement are now threatening to resign from their jobs, and now William Ruto is in total panic. The likes of John Mbadi, who was nominated, or rather given the job of the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury, Wandayi, Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, Hassan Ali Joho, Cabinet Secretary for Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs, Wycliffe Oparanya, Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and MSMEs Development, Beatrice Askul, nominated to be Cabinet East African Community and Regional Development. All of these are now threatening to quit and resign from William Ruto's government because of two main reasons that I'm going to take you through. However, I want us to listen to the interview at NTV, interview that the Senator from Makueni, Dan Maanzo, owns some truth and also gave us a hint in what is happening inside William Ruto's government and what is going to happen to the alleged experts that were donated by Orange Democratic Movement to the nation.
And I want to come back to this issue of donated experts. One of them is Honorable Mbadi, who we know is very brilliant. The other one is the Minister for Energy. You heard him say he was not even briefed as a minister. So this is what happens. You find from permanent secretary downwards, you've got technocrats who belong to the president and they guide you. In fact, there's no one doing anything. Everything you're seeing around is President Ruto's mind and his dictatorship. Because you see, the Minister for Energy is there, but he's dictated. He's also captured. Mbadi cannot do anything. He's under capture. And therefore, the so-called experts, they are not helping the country at all because the person at the top. And then when the parliament fails to impeach, then the people have the power. Now, the only channel left in the constitution is through the vote. And that's why it is very important that, and I'm finding still a lot of young people and a lot of Kenyans are so fed up. They don't want to participate in elections. They don't want to go and vote. The more you do that, the more you are not helping the country. So we really want the whole country to wake up and send this government home. That's the only way. You can best send it through the vote. Some people say, oh, we are scared he may steal the election. I can assure you, if Kenyans don't want the election to be stolen, it will not be stolen. Because...
Now, if you had Dan Maanzo keenly, there are many reasons why these people want to quit the broad-based agreement, quit their jobs and leave alone William Samoei Ruto. Number one reason, it is because of the dictatorship of William Ruto as given by Dan Maanzo. They are saying, or rather he's saying that William Ruto is micromanaging everything. In fact, everything in the government, William Ruto is the one who is managing. And therefore, in as much as John Mbadi, the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury, may be as brilliant as he seems, may be as brilliant as many people say, he has nothing to do. In fact, he's just there ceremoniously, but everything is being done and decided by William Ruto. And that is why we're not seeing any change in the government, despite the fact that Raila Odinga said that he had offered his experts to help make the government of William Ruto work. Another example that Dan Maanzo has given that is obvious and many people have seen that is about Wandayi, who is the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum. Yeah, Wandayi, in fact, recently when he was being grilled by the parliament over the G2G fuel scandal, he said that in fact when the scandal was happening, whatever happened, it was not even proved. He never knew what happened. And many people were criticizing Wandayi, saying he doesn't know his job. But the problem is not Wandayi. The problem is about William Ruto, who wants to macromanage everything because of his dictatorial leadership, because he's a dictator, and he wants to manage everything. He wants to, he doesn't give a chance to all these people to work and exhibit the expertise in their dockets. Hassan Ali Joho, In fact, he is one person who even you don't even hear about. You don't know what he has been doing. You don't hear anything to do with the blue economy and maritime affairs. He's just there. William Ruto is the one managing his docket. In fact, Hassan Joho is there to receive his salary and go home and sing two-term. Wycliffe Oparanya is another one. Yesterday was being shouted upon because of these leaders. The only thing they are told by William Ruto, in as much as they are going to those functions in relation to their dockets, they should sing two-term. They should sing a second term for William Ruto, and that is what they've been doing. Wycliffe Oparanya himself, yesterday he was shouted down at Kagwangware when he started bringing about, talking about the two-term politics and stuff. Many people told him, no, we don't want to hear that, and started shouting one term, saying that the president is a one-term president. You see, this is the reason why these people want to move out of the government. They want to resign because they're not given their time. They're not given the opportunity to exhibit the expertise. And you know what will happen? Finally, perhaps President William Ruto will come out and say, you know, these people who were crying for leadership, we gave them jobs, we gave them five vital positions in my government, expecting them to help me, but they didn't help me. In fact, they brought more problems, and that is the reason why they want to resign, because they don't want to tend the ODM party, Raila's legacy, as people don't know what they are doing yet. President William Ruto is micromanaging everything in the national government. Reason number two why they want to quit the William Ruto's administration, it is because of the feud that has started existing between ODM and UDA. You remember, in as much as these four, or rather five, let me say five, because many people don't recognize Beatrice Askol, who was nominated to the cabinet East African Community and Regional Development. But yeah, she was among those who were given by Raila Odinga to William Ruto during the broad-based agreement. Now, I was giving the reason number two that now that UDA and ODM, they are not, you know, in good terms over some of the silly things they are claiming. I can say that is the reason why perhaps the ODM is recalling their alleged experts to their ODM. They be with them so that they leave William Ruto alone. Yesterday, during the ODM's Youth National Convention, we realized that many people were so bitter. They were warning William Ruto and his UDA party. I saw Simbarati, the governor for Kisii County, saying that, you know, telling the SG, the UDA SG Hassan Omar, to stop his stupidity. In fact, in Swahili, he said, "Wacha ujinga bana." That is what he said, and asked for respect, and told him to respect ODM leaders. You know, when Simbarati was hurling insults on Hassan Omar, it is not because it was Hassan Omar. The insults were directed to William Ruto, but they are using Hassan Omar as a sacrificial lamb. That is exactly what was happening, because Hassan Omar is just an individual. Hassan Omar, he delivers the message of the party. He doesn't give his own opinions. So whatever he says about zoning and stuff, he says it because he believes that is what, not he believes, he knows that is what the party stands for. And whatever he says, it represents William Ruto's views. So recently he decided that if ODM party feels it is strong enough, they should not worry about zoning, because if they are strong, they shouldn't even not bother about competition, such that even UDA feels candidates in the whole Nyanza, Luo Nyanza region, ODM with its strongest, or the strongest party, they will merge winners. That is the exact logic that Hassan Omar was exhibiting. And that one did not sit so well with some of the ODM leaders, and they came forth to hurl insults on Hassan Joho. And they told, in fact, they said that if UDA doesn't want to work with ODM, they can as well go unite with Rigathi Gachagua, and ODM will go to the ballot and beat them. I really don't know how that will happen, because what I know, ODM right now is, you know, it is headed to ICU. It is ICU, almost dying. Once you remove the machines, it's dead, because ODM itself, it has many factions within. Right now we have like 3 factions. We have the Linda Mwananchi faction, we have the Linda Ground faction, and we have another faction of the people who don't know what they are doing. They are just there. They don't know whether to join Linda Ground. They don't know whether to join Linda Mwananchi. They are just there. So we have 3 factions within ODM. Unless these people try to come together and form one party, one united party, that is the only way they can beat up William Ruto. And also they are fearing that William Ruto might take that chance. If they deny it, he might go and unite with Rigathi Gachagua and take the Mount Kenya region, Mount Kenya votes. And that is what they are fearing most. I don't know what you think with this intel about the experts. Let me say alleged experts. I don't know whether they are really experts or just a political term Raila Odinga used to have his people in government. But then he said that they are they are experts. So if they are experts, I don't know why they are not fixing the nation then. Anyway, I don't know what you think. You can give your comment down there in the comment section. We'll talk there. I'll see the comment. We'll have a debate. Perhaps it will form a basis of what we're gonna talk about in the next video. And equally, if you're new here, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing our content as a way of motivating us and also helping us grow this platform. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you a new content.